The redemption arc begins now for Complexity. Smash, and there's a lot of things that you don't know are going to happen, and finally we get some answers. Oxygen Esports, do you have it still in the LAN environment? Like they said, Rise fighting through some injury, who knows, Hands, he's still an absolute dog on LAN, but Complexity has proven a more difficult team to put away than some would think in recent history.
Yeah, absolutely, but in terms of firepower, Oxygen Esports up there with the best of them. You talk about Jorias, you talk about Archie, Rise, all three individually are great, but when you combine them on a team and when they can start hitting team passing plays, this is one of those squads that seems like they are unbeatable, but let's see what Complexity has, and the defense already shining like Stax was alluding to.
That challenge game looking dangerous early on for Oxygen, forcing that ball back onto the Complexity half for some extra opportunities. Dangerous spot for Raze Bull, needs a lot of help from AJG, but look at him stiff the ball right into the middle, and thankfully Oxygen quick to close the gap. Aggressive start for Oxygen.
Interesting play there from Complexity, just left that ball for Archie. Nothing came of it, but I'd like to see a little quicker decision making from Complexity. I get that it's game number one, still trying to download your opponents, but still, it's been all Oxygen Esports in the first 60 seconds.
Nice gap close from Jorias. Tight follow-up from Rise. Oxygen really trying to constrict the amount of space the Complexity have to work with on their own half. HAG, little lead touch forward. Raze Bull off the backboard. A lot of time, but CRR can't handle it. Honestly, I think the shot probably would have been coming from too far away to beat the last man regardless, but Complexity, the right idea, poking and prodding to find the space on that Oxygen defense. It's just a matter of can you put something on target that's dangerous enough.
Yeah, I think you're right, Achieves. That was the right call from CRR. He didn't have the angle, didn't have the power to put anything on target. It would just turn that ball immediately over as Archie gets pushed off of that one. CRR's up, Jorias puts a shot back, but AJG able to push it back side and shot on target as Archie able to cover up, play third man well.
Nice aggressive challenge there from AJG, preventing the free counterattack. Raze Bull to CRR, top left corner, Complexity on the board first.
That might be in the list for ally assist of the day. My goodness, great pass from Raze Bull to the top of the box to the new pickup of CRR. He has been absolute money for Complexity.
Solid bit of shooting, and Oxygen were close. They almost had a pretty decent counterattack of their own. Just a big key block from AJG to keep that one on the offensive third. Complexity are rewarded for their sound challenge game, and Oxygen the ones forced to find an answer now. Little floater into the midfield. CRR just trying to buy a little bit of time. He will control the boost, keep command of the space in the midfield. CRR backflip, not able to jam it home. Little stutter in the step from Raze Bull, and he's gonna work his way through.
Watch this play develop, Achieves. The slowdown from what's Raze Bull is what opens this net wide up. It's just a beautiful pass off the backboard. Rise has no shot at saving that one, and Complexity up by 2 early here in game number 1.
Rise defending the first choice, the immediate shot into the top right, and then he sees it go off the wall, and he's just already recovering and not enough time to get it done and get back in on defense. Complexity out of nowhere, pretty comfortable 2-goal lead, looking at halfway through, and Oxygen really trying to find a strong foothold here to get the offense rolling again. They started off pretty hot in this one, and Complexity have just really locked down in the midfield.
Yeah, first 2 minutes was all Oxygen, but after that initial goal from Complexity, completely took the wind out of sails of Oxygen Esports as Rise comes up high. No one there to receive that pass as Archie was getting bumped off by AJG, but he gets 2 to go, but ball pushed into the corner. CRR gonna clean that one up well. Doesn't kiss the ceiling either, so it goes all the way downfield, and Oxygen gonna have to reset.
And they steal away all that corner boost, trying to limit Oxygen's counterattack potential. Bit of a reset here, but Oxygen definitely getting the better of possession in the last 30 seconds or so, starting to slowly but surely edge down into that blue side. Big miss in front of the box. Everybody from Oxygen trying to recover. They're definitely expecting some sort of clear, and then they just don't have the time to recover and capitalize on a complete whiff, to be honest. That's just having respect for Complexity.
Big demos coming out from Complexity. Not a ton up on the board. So far only 2 as that pass is up. CRR can't get the touch, and Rise able to tuck it underneath, bring Oxygen back within 1.
Close call here for Complexity. It's really just a solo air dribble trying to buy time, and CRR again has to defend the shot from Archie. Unfortunately, ball gets put around him off the backboard, and he just can't figure it out. Can't blame him, has to defend the play, and Complexity counterattacked, hit the lead cut in half, and all bets are off. Minute 15, that's a long time to hold off a team like Oxygen.
And prior to that play developing, I was just about to bring up the fact that before that shot on target, Rise only had 50 points. Obviously climbed up the scoreboard with that shot and goal. Did well to get himself involved, but less than 60 seconds. Huge challenge on the back end, but CRR gonna clean it up. It's an open net. AJG can't find it, and they aren't able to extend the lead. Complexity completely throw that one away.
Talk about really finding yourself in the ideal spot. I mean, everyone's thinking Archie just made a huge key block, and Oxygen definitely got surprised when that one went back the other way in a hurry.
Oh, there it is.
Rise 1-on-2, AJG, he manages it! What a great job managing the space! Excellent defensive stop.
Not only avoids the bump in demo, but gets the save on the ball. Huge play on the back half for Complexity, and CRR wisely slows things down, baits Archie in, and here comes Joyous trying to clean things up. This ball still dangerous, still lurking in Complexity's half. They need one. Game one so heavily in favor of Complexity. Joria's one last-ditch effort. Here he comes. Big challenge on that back end, and the ball's floating towards midfield, and Raisbull Bartley just going to bomb it all the way downfield and let Rise reset.
Ooh, off the wall. Jorius can't reach it, but oh no, unlucky.
Right idea, I like it.
Tough break. Definitely trying to go towards the open space. It's just unfortunate that your guy's trying to recover at the same time, ends up smacking it into the floor. Complexity hold on to the 2-1 lead. They got out pretty early. It took them about half the game to get up 2. Oxygen found a way to battle back and reset, but that's a lot of saves.
That is a lot of saves. I mean, you know, Stacks isn't right about a lot of things, but he was
he
right.
Got that one.
10 saves on board, and they get the dub. So well thought out by Stacks, but better played from Complexity. They saw exactly what Oxygen were trying to do at the beginning of the series, and they kind of baited them into their own half and then caught them off guard.
At the same time, though, if you're Oxygen, you felt like you could have had a few extra opportunities on the offense somewhere along this game. They found Archie in pretty good positions a lot of time. He was getting a lot of key blocks to push Complexity back. That's the idea. You keep him there so you can generate more shots and get over that 10 threshold that Stacks was talking about. And unfortunately for them, they just never quite had the people necessary to try and capitalize on some of those big blocks.
It's unfortunate, but for Complexity, you got to feel good getting that one out of the way. Understanding how important it is to not only get an early series lead, but also over this hot start team of Oxygen Esports. We know how dangerous they are, and if you go down to them, it is so hard to crawl out of that hole. Complexity up 1 in the series over Oxygen Esports.
Big double-edged sword there in game 1 for both teams. Complexity being the ones to get the best of it. Everybody resets here for Forbidden Temple, and Oxygen, what you're really wanting, you have to have a little bit better control of the boost so you have more people ready and can constrict more of that space on offense. Because Complexity did do a pretty good job controlling a lot of boost. They never really got starved out, even if they weren't able to necessarily limit Oxygen per se in that department. They definitely didn't let them have anything extra.
Yeah, and I'd also like to see Oxygen try and play a little quicker. I know that sounds insane because these guys already play super fast, but Complexity are giving them space on the field as Rise able to carry that one into the net and go up early.
Here's the execution on the 2-on-1. Look at Archie get in front of the ball, really put CRR in a tough spot, take away all of the options for him to cover the net, forces him to the top, and Rise executes the air dribble perfectly, taking it down in a way to the farthest spot of the net. That's just beautiful control from Rise. CRR, unfortunately, is not able to go up and contest Jorius for the ball. Complexity start off in the hole instead of out in front like game 1. Now they're the ones tasked with finding their way through the midfield. Awkward double commit, though, from Oxygen. And thankfully, Complexity a little bit slow to pick up the slack and can't really get set up.
And thankfully, Joria is able to recognize that as Archie puts a shot on target. Rise was causing chaos on the goal line. And here comes AJG. Tons of space afforded to him, but Joria is just going to rip that one away, send it back towards midfield. And Archie, great read off that back wall and just narrowly off target.
Would have caught Complexity off guard as well. Dumped into the middle, but the only player there is Raisbull. Jorius was deep back, preventing Perhaps a dangerous counterattack, maybe needing boost. Either way, giving up a lot of ground, and now it's Complexity who can't cover the time and space needed to get this shot away. Archie just goes straight towards the ceiling and right at CRR, and AJG, he's getting ready to defend the backboard and trying to reset on the floor, and just not enough time to get there.
Yeah, and great shot placement from Rise as well, going far and away. Nice down low shot from him to keep it away from the defender. And for Rise, third goal so far of the series. He is absolutely putting Oxygen on his back and trying to will his way to victory in this one. Joreuz and Archie are doing well in this series, but we need to see some more offensive production out of them.
At the same time, you're right though, Rise, that's 3 incredibly well-placed shots. Every time it's been in the right place.
Here he is again.
Love to have that shooting accuracy. Forces AJG to make a very awkward save. Complexity kind of just forced to dump the ball down the pitch, and they may get stuck on defense here for a time. Look at CRR battling through contact to get this one to safety, and it's out to RLCS, and they're gonna score!
Great transition from Complexity to break out of the defensive half. They saw Rise rotating back. Joreuz bit early and then slowed down. He just went full send for the ball. He might have got a challenge, but that little stutter step delayed him just enough to leave that net wide open.
I think he wasn't sure if his teammate was going to grab the boost and cut, or if he kind of waited to identify what was going to happen. So little communication breakdown gives him a little extra space. Archie trying to cover the clear across the box and leaves Joreuz alone in the midfield. Can he execute? Unfortunately not. CRR quick to close the gap. Complexity starting to move out of their own half. AJG down to CRR. Bit of a chance that maybe is not the most high percentage, but if you convert it, all of a sudden you're tied up. CRR pokes one off the post, and nobody there for Oxygen.
That's what I was saying earlier, Chiefs. They're giving... Whoa! Oh my gosh, that was close. But Complexity giving tons of space over to Oxygen. Just seems like the challenges are slower than normal. Archie can't read that one, and the follow-up not there. Joreuz puts another shot on target, but Complexity stand firm on the back half.
Really great defense, and again, there's those challenges from Archie in the midfield, forcing Complexity to reset on defense and try and get set against CRR, trying to buy some time with that fake air dribble. Another awkward floater. Joreuz definitely in time for it. Thankfully, that challenge didn't really have a lot of mustard on it. And Complexity just trying to find a way to get out of their own half. This has been a very controlling game from Oxygen, and there's still a minute 15 left.
Yeah, if they start, oh boy, nice mid-air bump, better pass off the backboard, and Joreuz smartly defends that, pushes it right over, cleans up the clear as well, and gets the boost steal. He's all over the field. And right now, they just need to hold on, but infield passes there, cut out by Rise.
They just missed the demo on Rise. Him avoiding that definitely prevents a 2-on-1. Awkward, and Archie says, yeah, let's just send it. This is definitely a tough one to defend. Keep Complexity at arm's length with this one.
Oh, that is such a nasty touch from Joreuz. Defenders didn't see that one coming. He tucked it almost behind both of them, so when they both jump for it, they're in front of the ball, leaves it wide open for Archie to clean up. And it looks like Oxygen Esports just might sneak away with game number 2.
Well, hang on, off the ceiling for RLCS, top left and a little high. AJG denied by Archie. They had something, but just not quite in the position. Soft little dump into the corner. CRR lining it up, doesn't go for the pass. RLCS was waiting for it, and Complexity gonna have to look one more time somewhere else. AJG doesn't have the boost to finish the play. RLCS is gonna look for a little bit of help here in the middle, and there's Rise, top of the box, dodges the demo with Archie. RLCS can't find anybody to bump either. Complexity trying to throw everything at the wall and see if anything will stick. And Oxygen Esports push him out, waste a lot of time off the clock, and Complexity gonna run out of steam here.
Yeah, even if this one goes, not gonna matter. 2-goal deficit, impossible to come back from as the clock is at 0. Can't even get one to go in a doggy bag. And Oxygen Esports tie us back up.
Tough break for Complexity, but again, having to make a lot of saves, and still that shot count going up and up for Oxygen, but a much better game overall. They definitely, obviously you start off a lot stronger when you don't start off in the hole if you're Oxygen, and then when you've got that ability to keep that offense rolling the rest of the game, we really didn't see Complexity on offense until, like 2.5 minutes left. That whole first half was Oxygen press, and then Complexity was like, look, we got to get out of here. We got to try and do something. In which case, yeah, then they got a lot of shots on net, but just wasn't enough time to get it done.
You know, and honestly, I don't know where those 11 shots came from. I mean, like we were talking about, Oxygen, it just seemed like they were controlling the match the entire time, and more of those shots seemed like it was close to net, but immediately turned away by Oxygen Esports and able to be turned immediately into some type of offense. Right now, Oxygen seemed to have kind of put game one behind them. It was a little sloppy from them, and this one, finally, everyone getting involved. Archie gets a goal. Joria still hasn't had one, but I like to see him getting involved in the passing plays to set things up.
Oxygen definitely moving the ball very well. I have to agree with you there. And if you're Complexity, I still think the defensive structure overall, it's definitely, you know, it's in the right spot. It's just a matter of, okay, can we break that offense a little bit sooner? Even if it's not necessarily getting our own possession, we have to force Oxygen to reset offensively.
And I think really what it boils down to is the hesitation we're seeing from Complexity. It's almost like the comms are a little slow to call out who's going for it, so that challenge isn't immediately there, whereas Oxygen's already in the air by the time they're thinking about it. And the demo from AJG comes out, but he accidentally hits the ball. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
CRR, it was a great idea too. He was really just trying to freeze defenders with his very slow dribble, but fake air dribble, and clever idea from Complexity, but best laid plans, as you say, go awry. Just a little bump takes the play away, and game 3 starts off with no fireworks.
Well, there's a firework for you. Raise Bull takes out Archie, sends them all the way back to the orange half, but actually works out well for them as Jory is able to relieve that third man position, push up, and here comes Archie. Can't avoid the 50, well read by AJG, but Jory might find Archie upfield, and he sure does. Nice catch, nice carry, tries to push it, but better defense from AJG.
Really nice understanding there from AJG. He knows his teammate has to give the space. He's the last man. He can't just cut and let them shoot on the net, so AJG closes the gap on the rotation back. Says nothing for free. Gonna have to beat me before the last man. Complexity work out of an awkward spot. Floater in front of the net. AJG trying to figure everything out. I was just waiting to see if Oxygen would come clear the ball.
Oh, he's there.
CRR still not able to get it done, and now it's a dribble one-on-one. Rise sizing up AJG, flick towards the net. It's off the bar, and it bounces under Archie. CRR is able to clear the ball. Oxygen Esports gonna be kicking himself.
Oh, you hate that when you're going up, trying to read it off the back wall, and you keep your eyes on the defender a little too much. You're paying too much attention to what they could do with the ball instead of just trying to hammer home the 100% chance as CRR goes up. Jorias puts this ball down, and Raise Bull a little too high, and Rise is gonna clean it up for Oxygen, but still not out of the woods just yet.
Physicality from Rise, forcing Complexity off the ball in the midfield. They have to go a lot more aggressively into that challenge to try and keep this ball in the orange half. Raise Bull, the right idea, trying to buy time, but the ball gets away from him a little too much. CRR, not a lot of options, so he goes for the space in the top of the box, trying to reset, and the Complexity, they're so close to being able to break through that Oxygen defense, but they just don't have Never mind, they can do it.
Oh, the ground pinch coming out at the perfect time from Raise Bull. He goes up, the ball goes down, and he just puts a scorcher on target.
That's just not fair. You see a guy go up like that, and you're thinking, okay, something off the wall, maybe gonna try and power an air dribble into the top left. Just kidding, straight to the floor.
Dang.
Back post on the floor. Huge shot from Raise Bull, beautiful shot.
AJG trying to do his best Raise Bull impression there. Maybe a ground pinch into a pass as Jory is stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one. His teammates bail him out as Oxygen Esports, less than half the game to go here, find one goal. Plenty of time. But the way this game has been playing out, Complexity definitely has a stranglehold over midfield and those boosts. The aggression is all theirs.
Good breakout clear, though, from Jorius, just forcing Complexity to give the space up. And it's that type of clear that I want a little bit more out of from Complexity's side to kind of limit that potential for Oxygen to constrict the space. And look at Jorius trying to use a lot of it. Raise Bull, great adjustment to get that ball out to the corner. Much safer position in the middle of the pitch. And Complexity's Someone saying, help me, I really don't have good
Oh, the
control. They
back
get
open.
demoed and scored on. Nobody can control the ball, and it cost him dearly.
Great comms here from Archie to let Rise know the back end is open. Just put it anywhere between the sticks, and it's going in. And Oxygen Esports able to knot us all up. 1:34 left on the clock. And this one, so important. Game number 3, match point on the line.
AJG and RazeBull combined, going for a big block and puts CRR in kind of a hot seat position. Look at the physicality in the goal. It's going to force them into some awkward defensive setups here for Complexity. They recover and are able to poke it out to the safety of the sidewall, and boy, do they need that. Just smash that up the field. You got to reset on your own half. And Complexity do just that. Look at the coverage, though. Jorius on the far opposite wall. Again, leaving Complexity no choice on where to clear it. Somehow finding nice touches out to their teammates, though, and Oxygen actually giving a lot of ground.
Whoa! CRR forgot something there. Most important thing on the pitch, the ball, because it's still lingering up around midfield. Both teams continue to just batter it back and forth. Here comes RazeBull. Plenty of time, gets the flick. Right idea to dump that one off for the pass, but a big demo on the back half. It's wide open, and RazeBull can't catch up. Oxygen take the lead.
That's the second time now. There's that physicality in front of the play. Complexity leaving the last man. Really not in a 2-on-1 per se, but he's got to manage some type of approach before the ball gets to him, and they just can't figure it out. Oxygen blow open the walls, and they walk right through. Complexity needs some type of answer in 30 seconds. You know they're capable of it. It's just, is there enough time? Big from CRR, really stretching it is RazeBull, but no reason not to at this point. Got him into the middle, and that one's just gonna squeeze in the lower right-hand side. Talk about operating on a knife's edge here.
I mean, check out Rise here. The boost didn't get there, and he stopped. And that momentum shifter is exactly what stopped the defense from Oxygen Esports, saving that ball. Great play from Complexity, all tied up, game 3.
Decent enough kickoff, but Complexity lose the midfield boost, so be down a man here in this push. It'll take him a little extra time to get upfield. CRR.
Oh my.
Down into the middle. AJG, he's really tight. Awkward bit of control required, and very likely in overtime. Archie almost got there. I got a little bit worried for Complexity, but it's an overtime in game 3. RazeBull on the kickoff, hard off the wall,
way!
Straight into the net. Oh my goodness!
All over a defender as well. Puts him up on a poster, and Complexity take match point.
Ooh, chopped it down. What a shot out of nowhere. I mean, you're thinking it's a regular drawback kickoff. I mean, yeah, you can bang one towards the backboard all day, but what are the odds they're actually going to be able to score it? Like you said, he had to go all the way over the top of that guy and still find a way to get on top of the ball to get it under the post. That's quite a backboard read.
That is quite the backboard read, and the fact that he was able to do that with a defender all over his back. I mean, that was almost a technical foul on that one. But Complexity, you love to see it. RazeBull is completely popping off this series. 4 goals so far for Complexity, and he's had one in every single game. You see in the Mobile 1 high performance replay, just popping off. You love to see it, especially from this team that you expected so much. The success hasn't quite been there, but now they're having fun.
Like, yo, did you see that?
Oh, we saw it. We'll see it again for sure.
2 gorgeous goals from RazeBull in a well-deserved Game 3 victory, but as we've heard earlier in the day, I believe it was James Bott who said it, you know, it's one thing to win those first couple games. It is another thing entirely to close it out. And Complexity knows they've had to do a lot of hard work just to keep Oxygen contained. And Oxygen, I don't even think they're necessarily worried about this being match point. They know they've been getting a lot of opportunities, and you can feel confident in that approach despite being down in the series. You know you're getting looks on target that are dangerous.
And both of the losses extremely close for Oxygen Esports in this one, as Archie forced to go up and trying to clear that one out. Great ground pinch as well from that. And misses on that, gets the bump on CRR, and Oh, is Rise able to do anything? No, you saw Jory is unable to push forward. Rise and Archie so aggressive early in game number.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Complexity was diving all over the place here. I mean, you can see on this first attempt, 2 people commit. AJG's ready to cut up field, and he's thinking, oh, there's a clear. They double commit again. And finally, the second opportunity for Oxygen presents itself. Again, that physicality as well, clearing Complexity out of the space, making it as easy as possible. Oxygen, that tight support paying dividends.
Just keeping their heads on a swivel, forcing them to look left and right as AJG saw that passing play, trying to get developed, and what in the world is that?
No.
That would have been gross.
That would have been the ally assist of the day.
Absolutely.
If they would have scored that one. It was a beautiful setup, but unfortunately, nobody quite in position to handle such a ball. Oxygen Esports will continue to hold on.
Great pass.
The beauty of a pass. You're absolutely right. 2-0.
You get the defender to go up. AJG had a great read on that ball, but Archie able to hit his wheels on that back wall, reset, and get that pass back out to Rise at the top of the box. Great comms, great vision. They're fully in sync right now and fully in the driver's seat in game number 4.
And again, it's Archie. I mean, that dude, he's got the challenge game down to science here. Nice bit of misdirection, and he's gonna pull another one out of the net. He can do no wrong at the moment.
But another shot on target, well read by Archie. And the ball doesn't come through. Rise can't catch up. CRR just slots it.
Great bit of shooting. AJG just getting big in the midfield, and CRR wins the race. He can see the play developing in front of him. It's a little bit easier to position, finds himself in a better spot, gets to the ball first, and finally picks the one spot in the net. Apparently Archie can't cover. Complexity cut the lead in half with a lot of time to get the job done. Hard bounce into the middle, again off the ceiling, it's open, but AJG understandably playing a little more passive because that challenge could have gone very wrong.
And that was a dangerous ball there for CRR. Didn't quite read it great. He had to adjust mid-air, and Rise trying to get the bump on CRR. I love the creativity that we're seeing from Oxygen.
They understand, they're like, we need to clear them out of the box. And Oxygen's, they're fully on board with that game plan. That second guy's like, cool, I'll dive for it. We'll let the guy rotating back deal with the consequences. They've got that confidence that they can handle a counterattack with one person and 2 rotating back. And it definitely puts a lot of pressure on that Complexity defense.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot to be in for Oxygen because you can't just sit back and feel comfortable against Complexity. So dangerous and lethal, so you got to keep playing your game. You got to try and extend the lead, obviously. You got to avoid the demos, and speaking of demos, Archie puts one under his name and slows down the Complexity offense.
Complexity was trying to do the same thing there. They wanted to get that demo out in front of the play, but they just missed it completely, and it's allowed Complexity to regain all that space on the pitch and again start to constrict on this blue half, and that's a nice bit of understanding there for Complexity. They know they're not actually under any time pressure. They get a nice little pinch clear out to the side wall, and now they're going to try and look for some space here on the offensive half. And Oxygen Esports doing their best not to give them any, and they just want to smash that ball down the field and force Complexity to reset on offense and waste as much time as possible.
But it is refreshing to see Complexity not push the issue. They're not forcing their hand just yet. They realized, okay, 2 minutes ago, still plenty of time. Just keep playing our game. We don't need to overextend. We don't need to put ourselves in a hole as Raise Bull able to get up in time. Still has a little bit of boost in the tank. And it seems like it's starting to come at a premium as Oxygen rotating well, stealing all those big boost pads.
Great challenges from Complexity here to get this one jammed in. Surprise, CRR, it's coming at you hot. And he actually does a great job getting it into the middle, and AJG, he is actually going to totally catch the Oxygen defense by surprise. He cuts through the rotation.
AJG picks the pocket of Rise, check the back door. It's left wide open as we're all tied up. Game number 4, Complexity just refused to go away.
Rise obviously so focused on that first guy at the top of the box. You never think the guy's going to go across. Hard pass out to the corner. CRR wants themselves, trying to just keep it in the mix. And that one's actually over everyone's head. Raise Bull is just in time to keep this one to the safety of the corner. Complexity very narrowly conceding what they just gained back. And time definitely a factor. You can't afford to make a silly mistake on rotation or be overly aggressive and just let Oxygen back into the series here. You'd much rather play overtime than have to find an equalizer.
Absolutely, as CRR are going to clean this one up as gets some flip reset, another one, and Raise Bull still searching for his first goal here in game number 4. CRR again denying on that back wall. Torias rotates through it. The speed to just push through those challenges, impressive.
CRR definitely marking Archie across the middle of the field there, not going to lose focus, and a little floater, keep Oxygen honest there. Certainly wasn't expecting to score, but if you do, you do. Flip reset from Archie, stalls one out of the midfield line. Here comes CRR, down into the middle, but nobody home for Complexity. Again, they have to go and grab some boost, and AJG, it could have been awkward, but
didn't see him back there.
Handled it cleanly on the dribble off his own backboard. 8 seconds, that's another big block from Oxygen. Looking for the dump into the middle. Unfortunately, it doesn't go far enough. Rise is gonna be looking for the one opportunity to beat everybody, and they went for the really tight, immediate follow-up in the air, but unfortunately the challenge got away from them, so it will be OT.
I think Archie pushed up just a smidgen
little early.
Too far on that one, because Rise did a great job of that mid-air challenge to not only keep it alive, but just kind of let that ball float back down. And our second overtime of the series. So close between both of these teams. Rise, again, trying to prove that he has ice in his veins in live environments. The shot on target, but CRR waiting patiently in net.
All over it. And if you're Complexity now, you got to focus on the ball control here as you cross the midfield line. Forced touch off the corner, and kind of feels like they're pushing forward to cover space, but it's like they know they can't get there, and they just don't want to allow Oxygen out of their own half for free. That is a demo in the midfield.
There
Raise Bull's too late. We're going to game 5.
Rise does it again. An OT slaughter. He gets his hat trick in game number 4 and sends us to game 5.
And that's, in a microcosm, why you have to have the give and take of space in Rocket League. You cannot always try and stay on offense. There were a couple challenges there in those last, 15, 20 seconds or so where Complexity, they hit the first challenge and then they drive forward on 0 to 15 boost just because they want to have a presence in an area. And then you find yourself too far forward with not a way to get back, and all of a sudden there's Rise, who just went for that first challenge, timming you out in the midfield, and it's like you have to be willing to give the space back sometimes, because if you don't, you just get pushed out of the way and you can't do anything.
Oxygen has been doing such a great job in this series, almost luring Complexity into their own half, saying, okay, you guys are doing really good on offense. Keep playing, keep getting aggressive, come here, and then bang, they strike just like that. So dangerous on the transitions is all of Oxygen, but especially Rise, especially in these big moments. Game number 5 on the line, and I cannot wait for this one to achieve. This series has been everything that it was advertised.
Yeah, you've got that killer instinct of Oxygen to open up a doorway and immediately strike through it. And of course, Complexity, they've had to play some tough defense, and it's all been a matter of, okay, Complexity, if you hang on enough, you'll get the strong counterattack opportunities eventually. And they've been able to execute more often than not, but I feel personally for me going into the game 5, you have to favor Oxygen. Feels like the approach is a little more consistent.
Well, I would favor them just because they have Rise, and it's Champions Field, and you know what? If you got to put money somewhere, put it on Rise.
He did have a 700-point game in game 4. Definitely got the job done, but all bets are off now. The final opportunity, Complexity. Does your first international live event show, does it end in disaster or not? And this is not the way to begin.
I understand the idea because he's rushing back. You got to respect that. You got to try and get it up off the backboard. But unfortunate situation as it just crumbles apart on the back half.
You hate to give ones away. Your only silver lining is really that, you had to score one if you wanted to win regardless, and you got a lot of time to do it. So we'll see. Complexity. Now they're starting to lose a little bit of command on the defensive side. That's the wrong time to have that happen when you got to make something happen and get up the pitch.
Yeah, they've been playing almost perfectly, but all mistakes, especially at this level, should be, I mean, magnified, but also punished. You're gonna not only see them, but your opponent is definitely gonna see them as RazeBull catches up to that one. What a redirect from Jorias, but AJG pushes out, flip, reset, can't find the double tap, and here goes the offense for Oxygen.
Oh, it's actually too far for Jorias and RazeBull. That's actually great positioning. I think he realized that it's only one way that shot's gonna go, and surprise, surprise, Oxygen get pushed back onto their own half. Complexity take a lot of space and a decent chunk of the boost, but there's that physicality. One bump, one demo, and just like that, Complexity really thrown for a complete loop, and that's a great clear from CRR.
And we just got to hear Shogun on the call with the what a save, so he is here in spirit. Good to know. We missed him greatly, as we do Johnny Boy. But here comes CRR to tie us up. You love the double tap. You could see it coming from a mile away, but Oxygen was blind to it.
CRR, he saw that Jorias wasn't actually going to go for it. He's like, cool, there's going to be a lot of open space on the backboard. Just give myself the best chance at it. Boy, did he deliver. Excellent bit of shooting. Keep yourselves in this one. Another big challenge off the kickoff. CRR, can you get it to a dangerous spot? Misses the touch. RazeBull just trying to keep it here in the orange half, and Archie, that's the wise choice. Just dribble it out. You know you're probably not going to have a strong counterattack, but you don't just want to go right back into Complexity, so slow it down a bit.
RazeBull's touches have been so uncharacteristic that they just continue to catch all of Oxygen off guard as Archie gets a big save there. And RazeBull playing that third man, gonna rotate through. Beaten out by Rise, and Joria is gonna infield pass to Archie. All three forward, this is a dangerous spot. Jorias has to get up, but RazeBull unable to tuck it in.
RazeBull, that's where Rocket League's an improviser's game. You find yourself in a tough spot, you need to hit a difficult shot. And unfortunately, not able to squeeze it under the crossbar. AJG buying some time here. He's gonna give a lot of space, but he will let his teammates really get set behind him here. And RazeBull will find the gap to dribble out of and force Rise to the side wall. And AJG, really nice backside support on defense, down into the middle. There's tight follow through from CRR. They say send it hard. They're not gonna see it coming. They've got the tunnel vision on the ball in the corner. And CRR closes the space down.
They sent the house, and it pays off as the passing play in the corner developed beautifully from AJG, and CRR just kept the momentum following through that ball, and Archie got bumped off of that one, was gonna be dangerous. But somehow, Complexity come out of that kickoff unscathed.
Oh, huge challenge from AJG on the sidewall. Jorias forced to go for the big clear here. That's a beautiful ball into the middle. The only one there is RazeBull. However, AJG straight off the ceiling. Nice extra touch from Archie to prevent Complexity going up two. Floater towards the net. Again, Jorias trying to get physical. Throw Complexity off the stand. There's AJG right down the middle. They all give up. 2-goal lead, Complexity.
Coming out of nowhere, but it's that transition offense that we're seeing. RazeBull with the clear. Great read from AJG to survey the field, realized all of Oxygen was pressed forward, and no one's home on the back half.
The inverse of the previous game in the series where Complexity tried to force it too much, and now they score on the kickoff. The lead is 3.
What in the world happened here? Oh, Rise pushed too far forward. Joria started to cheat up. Leaves it once again completely free, and great turn of events if you're a Complexity fan.
It's just the difference. One a slightly more passive follow through on the kickoff, one a little more aggressive, and it slipped through the midfield line. And Complexity, the minute differences in the kickoff game. Neither approach looks necessarily wrong, but positionally, completely winning for Complexity. Almost able to get them back into a playing position. Ball ricochets off the crossbar, and Rise unable to squeeze one into the bottom left-hand corner. Oxygen on the last gasp here.
Yeah, they need to go to goal right here, right now on this push if they want a realistic opportunity of tying this game up. 3 goals. Such a difficult deficit to overcome as Archie, big swing and a miss in that corner. Nothing comes to fruition there. Rise again, big swing and a miss, but can't be read on that one. And they continue to keep the ball alive, continue to put shots on target, but Complexity just a little bit better.
They're living on a prayer. They have no boost. And look at CRR, he just says, come challenge me. I can't actually push forward. And just manipulates the timing of it, gets a huge bomb downfield, wastes a few precious seconds, and Oxygen Esports, even with complexity in the most dire straits, finally push down the other side and break them down, but feels like too little too late.
It's possible, just not highly probable. 2 goals in 17 seconds. They need one right out of the gates. Gotta have something set up here. Let's see what they go with. Little cheat up, love that, and it's almost there. Joria's got the good 50, but CRR plays cleanup crew, and 10 seconds to go. Need a goal, you need it now. Rise is there, and now things are getting interesting.
Oxygen Esports, they knew where the shooter was gonna be. It was just a matter of can we keep getting it there. Great reaction from Rise. AJG, he's going to be frustrated that one didn't go straight across net, bounced out into the middle, so last chance here. You've brought it into a winnable position. Can you make something happen?
If you're an Oxygen fan, time to clasp your hands. Ball cannot touch the ground. Jorius keeps it alive. Rise has to get there, he can't catch up, and Complexity hang on in game number 5 to defeat Oxygen Esports.
Complexity, welcome back to the international major scene. You start off with a bang, take down a team that a lot of people like, and you look good doing it. Had to do a lot of extra work there on defense every now and again, but that's not because Complexity was playing bad. You really do have to give a lot of credit to that challenge game from Oxygen. Kept the ball in the mix a lot more than a lot of teams would be expecting. Unfortunately for them, too solid defensively. Oxygen not able to get the job done.
Wow, and 13 shots on target from Oxygen. I feel like 10 of them came in the last minute. I mean, they were just pouring on the offense, and somehow Complexity turned away every single shot that they needed to. Hang on by a thread to win this one.
And it was tough there. There was a lot of extra physical play from Oxygen, generally controlling a lot of extra space, giving themselves opportunities to score open nets, and you do got to give credit where it's due. You know, this may be the turning point. You know, it's been offense for so long, but you start seeing a few of these teams just be absolute defensive monsters, and you start trying to wonder, how do we break these guys down?
Well, and especially to overcome the adversity for Complexity. You open up the game, it's a big match, we're playing on Champions Field, and you own goal it against a team as dangerous as Oxygen Esports. To come back from that is huge.
Well played, Complexity. Well-deserved win in the match. You love the start from them, and unfortunately, Archie, Jorius, and Rise, you're gonna have to look elsewhere in your group if you wanna find your way into the playoffs. But now it's time to go down to the stage. We'll have an interview with CRR and Desiree.
I'm here with CRR. First of all, CRR, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Okay, so talk to me about, this series. It went the distance. Oxygen put up a tough fight. What was it like playing them?
It was pretty hard because in the scrims they played pretty well. We lost against them in all the scrims, I think, but in the LAN it's different.
Oh, it's definitely different. The first time here on this stage, what does that feel like?
It feels insane, and tomorrow or the next day with the public will be better so much.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did still play fantastic. I want to talk to you real quick about Razebull, because Razebull hit this crazy goal in Game 3. He was playing phenomenal. What was it like playing next to him on the team?
It was insane, Razebull. I told him after his double touch, I said to him, thank you for the carry.
Yo, he was playing phenomenal, but so were you, and so was the rest of the team. Obviously, talk to me about the matchups you guys are going to have later. You guys are going to be playing Gen G. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, we are ready. Gen G are an incredible team, but we think we have a really good fight against them.
All right, well, CRR, thank you so much for taking the time for the interview. Congrats on the win, and good luck on the next match. We're going to send it back to the desk.